We're now going to take a look at how to insert a flash file, specifically an SWF or SWF file, into your web pages. So I'm going to create a new page in order to do this. So I'll create a new HTML page. I already have the flash file available, and I'm going to save this page as slideshow. What this is a little slideshow of images that were taken on travel trips that we want to put onto our website. But I'll show you how to insert a SWF for now onto this web page. So the first thing is I'm going to say slideshow of travels with Wanderlust Travel. And here is a preview of some images from our visits. There we go. So just a little bit of text before we add it. I'm going to make the top line a header 1, and I'll place my cursor exactly where I want the image. Now, it isn't quite as important if it's a regular flash file to do that, but I'm going to go back to the Assets panel, which is the panel next to the Files panel, and in case you can't find it, it is located here in the Window menu. Now, within the Assets panel, there is an area that will allow you to view your SWF files within your website. So I'll open this up just a little bit more because that's what we're going to do. So I'll go down to the red square that says SWF when you hover over it, and that is the format for a flash file that you will insert into your website. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and it doesn't look like we have any flash files right now in our website. But one thing about the Assets panel is it does not auto-refresh like the Files panel does. So you always have to keep that in mind. If you add anything to your website files, you'll need to come here. And way down at the bottom is this circular blue icon, and it's the very first icon in the bottom right. If you click that, you should see slideshow.swf as a file. Now, Flash is a vector graphic, so it requires math to be done in order to display. So usually it will display as this little square of whatever size the flash file is, and it'll have this curved F in the middle of it. But up in the upper right corner in this SWF area, there is a play button. And what that does is turns on the Flash player, and the Flash player does the math for us. So if you click that green play button, you should start to see some content being pulled in within this area. And you can see it kind of has a built-in rotating feature. So I'll go ahead and turn it off. We know we have the Flash file available in our files. Now, how do I add a Flash file? What I do is literally just like an image, I click on it and drag it onto the page. And when you do that, a title attribute pops up. And you can think of this title as being similar to the alt on an image. So this is going to be a slideshow of travels. I'll go ahead and click OK. And there's my Flash file. Let's go ahead and click Live View. I'll click the Live button and take a look at our slideshow. And you can see there it is. And it's rotating just fine. What this is set up with is a series of random slides in and out of the images, so each one is a little bit different. I'll turn off Live View, and we can take a look at it in the Dreamweaver interface. Now, let me slide this back over where it belongs. It's taking up a lot of space. The other thing I want to show you is I'm going to open the Properties area. Now, when I select this Flash file, the Properties will show me the items specifically for this Flash file. and it tells me where it's located and a few other features. But one thing that is available to you in the bottom left-hand corner is what's known as Autoplay and Loop. Now, autoplay means start playing the Flash file as soon as the page is loaded. The looping is supposed to loop the content. In other words, keep this Flash file playing. But depending upon the Flash file you're using, this loop checking and unchecking it may or may not work. And that's nothing to do with Dreamweaver. That has to do with the Flash file itself, because the Flash file, the Swift file, stores whether or not it can restart. And if there's a built-in stopping mechanism in the Flash file, this loop will not do anything. Now notice there's also a play button down here. So I'll click play. There's my slideshow. I click stop. It stops. So there is my slideshow added as a Swift file. What I can do up in this upper blue tab is if I click the eyeball, this is what my page is going to look like to somebody who might not have the Flash player. And you can customize this. Adobe drops this in, basically, via Dreamweaver. Fully editable. You can add some additional messages or whatever you want. You click on the eyeball again, and you can see your Flash file. So that is how you can add a Flash file to your web page. I'll go ahead and save this. Now this is the other thing that occurs when you go to insert Flash on your website. In order for this Flash file to play, once it gets on a web server, there are a couple of additional files that need to be installed on your web server. And this little message here is Dreamweaver reminding you about that. What Dreamweaver is going to do is add a JavaScript file and also another install file. And those files are located in a scripts folder within my website. So you need to make sure, if you want your Flash file to play correctly, that that scripts folder gets placed in your files on the web server along with this page. So I'll click OK. Now if I go back to my Files panel, do a refresh, this is the folder Dreamweaver was talking about. If I hit the plus sign, you'll see that there are those two files that it was referencing inside this folder. So as long as I upload my entire website to the web server, when I decide to take this website live and include this, my Flash should be fine, provided whatever browser is viewing it has the Flash player installed. In case they don't, there is that Flash button to install it. So that is how you can add a Swift file, which is a basic Flash published file, to your website, and let Dreamweaver add the additional files to make sure that it works correctly, and also add the default text showing the browser how to locate the Flash player. Therefore, the user can determine if they want to install that or not. So that's installing a Flash file to your web page within Dreamweaver.